For decades, there's been a boat builder building the most iconic crafts on the water. C-Dory has been producing some of the boats that have gotten to Alaska, being as small as 22 feet in length. Now their largest, and above all their most comfortable ride, is the 25 TomCat. Different from the rest, from its dual hull design as a catamaran, thus the TomCat. The TomCat helps you cut through the waves that these traditional C-Dories usually slapped upon. If you were looking for something that is both stable as a cruiser and as a fishing machine, look no further than the TomCat. C-Dory does an excellent job at their building construction with this all hand-laid, hand-rolled fiberglass. This is one giant sheet on the side, on the other side, and the bottom that overlap a foot at each section. It's different from a sprayed-on fiberglass because it's going to be that one long sheet. It gives you a lot sturdier construction, a lot more firm hull as you're going through the water. The extension of the offshore bracket here is mounted for the two 125 horsepower or 175 horsepower motors on here, and does give you that extra few feet to give you a stability on the water. As we move up inside, this is where the magic happens. It is a catamaran that is trailerable, 8.5 foot beam. That is perfect for getting you out and about. People have taken this on the Great Loop, up to Alaska, out to Lake Chelan. It is a fantastic boat, versatile in all aspects of the word. As we move up here, this is something that cruises at about 30 knots. The planing speed on here is about 12 miles an hour. So you are getting up on a plane very smoothly and very efficiently. So your range is roughly 375 miles to be safe. Now in here you have 4-foot fish lockers on either side, thus that fishability in here. Nicely laid out with pumps. This is a self-bailing deck as well. So it gives you the nice ability to keep it easy to wash out. You're not pushing those fish guts into the bilge that you have to crawl in and get later. Right in the transom locker here, you do have your battery set up. Easy to access for all of your amenities. So we move into the back transom area. This is where your fuel pump separator is for your motors, as well as your switches for all of your electronics. You have both your power switch as well as your house battery switch. Easily monitorable and well out of the weather and elements. Great lighting around in the cockpit or in the deck area. Great shelving for any of your tackle or amenities. This one was outfitted with a rear helm station, so very well set up for not only just fishing as you're trolling and kind of getting into those premium spots, but also as you're cruising on those nice days. It's just nice to be outdoors. And for something that's so stable, you're cutting through waves, 2.5 feet tall and not really feeling it. Whereas on a monohull, you're really getting that rocking feeling. And for those of you that do get seasick, you can think of that feeling when, someone's got a fish on the side or you see a whale over there and everyone moves from one side of the boat to the other. The whole boat shifts and leans. This is something that won't list or lean while you're doing that. It is stable. A lot of people use this in the San Juan Islands to actually do as a commuter boat, or as builders like to load on and off. This isn't tilting or listing on that dock when you're getting in and out. It's a very, very stable platform. This one outfitted with a nice radar arch on here. You got 6 rod holders. The visibility on this is fantastic with these huge windows on the bulkhead here. The door itself, one giant window. So easily seen, especially if you're trolling and you're in a foul weather situation. You just want to be indoors and you want to check out your downriggers, see what they're doing. It's easy to see what's going on behind you. As we move inside, another big differentiator for C-Dory in particular is there's about, let's say about 5 gallons of paint that you'll never ever see on this boat. And what C-Dory does an excellent job of is sealing up when you get an older fiberglass boat, you have that traditional musty smell that you get. you walk into any of those, you really get hit with that, oh yeah, I'm on a boat, and it's an old boat. Now, C-Dory uses that paint, that extra paint, to seal up all of the fiberglass so it doesn't absorb any of that moisture that a traditional fiberglass boat absorbs over time. So on the interior, everything, if you were to pull off this roof, if you were to pull off the walls, it would be all painted and sealed underneath, which is a fantastic addition that you don't necessarily see, but you get the benefit of for years to come. Now in the interior, pretty traditional layout, but you do get a few bits of storage in here. So right near the door inside, you have a nice big locker in there, all glassed in. Then you have your locker underneath with your water heater on there. Into the dinette, which does turn into a nice berth, or a nice quarter berth on here. Now this is where it gets interesting. Some of the simplicity, which is really nice, that C-Dory offers, is you don't have fancy swivel rocker things that can break over time. It's really just a simple pull that out, flip it around, slip it into the next slot over here, and now you have the co-pilot's chair all set up. Underneath this, it's been outfitted with a Dometic fridge freezer. Very nice to have for any of those cold refreshments, snacks on board. Moving back here, we do have a little bit more storage, again, underneath the dinette. Now, you might be thinking, where's all the wasted space right under the center? Well, it's not wasted space, it's a catamaran. So all of the space is on the sides of the boat itself. It's, what is that, 150-gallon gas tank? So it's split into two on each side. On here, the Wallace cooktop is both a cooktop and a heater. It does have a fan that when you close the lid, it'll push all of that heat out into the cabin. Underneath that, you do have your storage. More storage under there. Great amount of storage on this, especially for long cruises. And now I'm 6'5". This is just under 6'5" feet tall. So there's not many boats that I fit on standing up, but this is one of the most comfortable that I can say I could spend an extended amount of time on here. Moving up to the helm station, do have all of your controls, everything up here. Nice footrest up front. Now, one of the big things that I do see on here is when you're up here, I'm a tall guy, I can reach this pretty comfortably. Now, if you're a shorter individual, it would be something where we'd have to look at moving that seat placement because there is no slider on there to move it up or down. But if you wanted to, a lot of people like to stand, a lot of people like to sit. So it's just finding that spacing on that seat because it is mounted directly onto the box underneath. Now, crawling into the berth here, this is one of the best things about having a catamaran. This is an east-west berth. Again, 6'5". This is about a king-size bed in here. I have plenty of room to spread out. You got a hatch up here if you need some airflow. Nice reading lights on both sides. And then you have more of your access forward for storage. Last but not least, we have the head. There is a full head in here, shower and bathroom. So again, for those of you who are want a little bit more modesty, there is snaps to go over, so everyone outside doesn't need to see you doing your thing. That is for all the windows. But as you can tell, it's a little bit for someone who's a little bit taller, a little bit harder to take a shower in here. So it's a little bit of a sit down and do your thing, but plenty of room nonetheless. C-Dory has done an absolutely phenomenal job with this 25 TomCat. It is something that is not only great for cruising, great for stability, but also fantastic for any of your fishing needs. Something that keeps you dry, comfortable, smooth ride. It is something that they have really outdone themselves on. If you're interested in this model or any of the other C-Dories, feel free to download the brochure link below or get in contact with us at Master Marine.